Hey, what's up, guys? It is Dives, Mr. Crockpot on Twitter. Welcome to the Speed Up Podcast. It's the post-game show of the animated draft. Today, we are talking about the best animated movies of all time. And joining me today is everybody here from Geekly Good to Movies Matrix to the Painted Lines. We're going to react, grade everybody's teams here. Guys, are you ready to suit up?
I'm ready to suit up!
Let's suit up, baby.
I am Iron Man.
I find your lack of faith disturbing.
I want you to remember the one man who beat you.
The Force will be with you, always.
A king's time as ruler rises and falls like the sun.
I do this all day. What's but a smile on that face?
That's my secret, Cat. I'm always angry.
Some men just want to watch the world burn.
All right, guys, welcome to the post-game show. Today, we're going to react and talk about our teams. We're going to give player grades, team grades, and we're going to just really, get cutthroat here about how we feel, who has the best team in the animated draft. And leading us off here is my man from Movies Matrix. He is Chad. Make sure you follow him on Twitter at Wick014. Chad, tell us a little bit about your squad here, dude.
All right, so, it's crazy because I'm a huge Pixar fan, but I don't have a single Pixar movie on my team. Before it even got to me, most of the good Pixar movies were gone, or not good, but the ones that I really like. But, that first pick, I had to go with Spider-Verse. I knew it was going to get taken in the top 3, top 5 probably. So, wasn't a huge fan of it at first. I've rewatched it multiple times, and I really love it. So, I had to go with it, and I know there's a ton of fans out there. I think that's going to get, a lot of votes. That's really the main reason I picked it. But, the rest of my squad, man, I really like my team. The way it shaped up, the way it came out, except for Isaac taking my Emperor's New Groove at the last one, but yeah, man, I'm happy with my squad.
All right, so let's talk about Chad's squad. We're going to review it out of 10. So 0 being trash, 10 being awesome. The first, obviously, I love your pick for Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse with the number 1 pick, the rightfully number 1 pick. That was a great choice, and I love your Moana choice. I think 1 to 2, you probably have the best 1 to 2 punch in this entire draft. I think Moana got better with age, like a fine wine. I don't like your Hercules pick. I love your Zootopia.
How dare you?
You're going to get your chance, Isaac. And I love the Road to El Dorado choice. I didn't even have that on my board. I after the draft, I have 3 movies on my list that were like, I spent legit 4 weeks on this draft, and that was not on my list. I love that movie. I give you a solid 8.5 out of 10. Go ahead, Isaac. You're up next, man. What's your grade and first reaction on this team?
Are we talking about Chad's team?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm giving it an 8 out of 10. Maybe 9.5. We're doing 9.5 because every single movie on there is amazing. So.
Okay.
How do you go from an 8 to a 9.5? I'm sorry. How do you go from an 8 to a 9.5? I want to know.
I was just like,
Yep, I know.
Like,
yeah, clearly.
Do I have to think about Megamind? And then I'm like, oh yeah, Megamind. That's a good movie. So then, boom, 8.
9.5. Wait, but why would you give him an 8 if you think all movies are great?
That's true.
He said 9.5.
He's had a long night with all of his picks going to other people.
Dude,
yeah, so I'm being very generous. So that way people vote for me. So
hey, you got Incredibles, Ratatouille, Incredibles 2. You good? And 24.
And Emperor's New Groove. You forgot that one. That's a wonderful movie.
AJ, what's your thoughts on Chad's squad? How would you grade it out of 10, man?
Yeah, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse is a perfect pick, and I think that's going to be the winner for the first round. I love Moana, Hercules, I love Zootopia, I love Megamind, and Road to El Dorado. They were okay. So I'll probably give his a 7.5 out of 10.
All right, Daryl.
You're missing 2 points.
I'm rolling.
Okay, first I'm gonna just give it the grade. I'm gonna give it an 8.5 out of 10. Into the Spider-Verse, I think, is the consensus number one. I mean, it's a no-brainer. It's like Saquon Barkley or Julio Jones. It's a given.
Wait.
No,
That's
don't
not
go
Eagles
there.
fans. Not Eagles fans.
And let's not go
Goodness.
there.
Saquon, no, it's not about it's not Phantom. Never draft a running back number one. Ever.
Okay.
What? Always draft a running back number one. What are you talking about?
We're not talking
We're
about
not
fantasy.
talking about fantasy here.
Oh, okay.
Never pick a running back.
This is fantasy.
Into the Spider-Verse is money. Moana's money. I think Zootopia is good. Hercules is okay. Megamind and The Road to El Dorado. While I think they're inspired picks, I'm not sure if there's an audience out there that would necessarily vote based on those. But I mean, overall, 8.5. I think it's a great lineup for what was left. Those are rounds 5 and 6 are good picks. Solid.
Awesome, man. All right, Mike, what are your thoughts?
I think Into the Spider-Verse was the obvious pick. I mean, whoever had the number one pick was going to, choose that just because of how many votes it's going to get for sure. And it's awesome, obviously. Moana, I agree with what you said. Aged like a fine wine. No love for Hercules and the people that spoke before me. That's crazy because that's one of my favorite Disney movies. I know Zootopia is super popular. I'm ashamed to say I've never seen it. Yeah, I know. And another one I've never seen is Secret Life of Pets. But they're on my list, but never seen them. But I know how popular they are. Megamind, I think, is underrated. I love Will Ferrell in that. It's hysterical. And does anybody know off the top of their head what year Road to El Dorado came out?
2000.
90 something.
99.
99.
I think I've seen it since it came out. So
I'm gonna say 99.
but if I had to give it a number score, 9.5 out of 10. Definitely.
2000.
Woo! Appreciate you, Mike.
You got it, man.
Leo.
El Dorado is 2000. I'm gonna start off with an overall score and say I'm gonna say it's an 8. I think you actually have a 1, 2, 3 punch. I agree with what Mike was saying. Hercules is a great pick. I think that Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, the obvious number one, amazing. You're gonna get tons of votes on that. You will win maybe the first 2 rounds based on that first pick. I liked Zootopia, didn't like Megamind, so I wouldn't have picked either of those two. But the Road to El Dorado was a great closeout. I was leaning 7.5, but closing out with the Road to El Dorado was amazing. I'm giving it an 8 out of 10.
And we've got the co-host of the Suit Up podcast. What's up, Lo?
Was good. Hey, Chad recruited me to movies Matrix, man. He's the man. Love you, buddy. But I haven't actually seen Road to El Dorado or Hercules. And that kind of brings down my score a little bit. I wasn't crazy about Megamind. But I got a good fantasy reference for you. I think Spider-Verse is like Alvin Kamara. You could take him number 1 overall, but it's questionable. Moana is wonderful. As an Asian American, I thought that was a good representation. It's beautiful, great music. I love Zootopia. I think it's super underrated. I think overall, I was leaning 7.5, but since I haven't seen some of those movies, I'll give it an 8.
All right. Amanda, you're up.
Oh man. I personally think Into the Spider-Verse was a cop-out as number 1, considering how well it did in the CBM draft. So it was a cop-out, Chad. As much as I love it.
Everybody would have taken it.
Oh, I'm just saying it's a cop-out because there's so many other enemies.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I'm harsh today. I'm going to give it a 7.5 out of 10 because I did not like Megamind at all. Everything else, I didn't like it. It's my opinion, Isaac.
Your opinion is wrong.
I love The Road to El Dorado, so that's kind of where you got your points. Zootopia, Hercules, Moana, all stellar. But yeah, man, it was a cop-out. I'm sorry, Chatty. I'm sorry. 7.5.
Damn.
That's all right.
Wait, what was your score?
7.5.
7.5 from Amanda. Gabe, you're up.
I think he has 4 movies that I really love: Moana, Hercules, Zootopia, and especially The Road to El Dorado. Because for my final pick, I was between Sleeping Beauty and The Road to El Dorado. So great. But one, I don't like Spider-Verse. I know. I
Whoa.
just don't like it. I just don't like it. It's fine. I know, nerd credential revoked, but I just don't like it. So, and Megamind I haven't seen. So, but so if it were me, I would give you an 8 out of 10 because of those two picks. But all the internet loves Spider-Verse, so that gives you a 9.5.
All right.
Because, like, for sure, everybody loves those movies.
All right, Jason, you're up.
Okay, I think you guys are being way too nice.
Ooh.
So I'm gonna. There's some good movies in here, but like I said during the pod, I think Spider-Verse was an obvious number one pick. But then when you start going through, and Zootopia, I think is a really relevant film that people should have real conversations about, because I think there are interesting things in there that at the surface level are very sort of nice messages, and then you scratch below and there's problematic stuff. So I think people should have real conversations about that movie, which to me puts it pretty high. But I'm looking at some movies that didn't get picked at all, and I'm seeing Megamind on here, which is fun movie. I mean, it's like it's a fun movie. But I'm looking at movies like A Scanner Darkly, Pinocchio, Fantasia, James and the Giant Peach.
Yes.
That didn't get picked. And
No,
also,
James and the Giant Peach is technically
what are
live
we
action.
talking about here?
CG.
What's that?
James and the Giant Peach would not count.
No, it wouldn't.
Okay. All right, but I just spit off like half a dozen. So let's add 101 Dalmatians and Bambi.
Oh yes.
And the Simpsons
Bambi.
movie.
No one picked Bambi.
Oh man,
So,
Bambi.
and we're going to talk about Megamind got drafted. I think you guys are really gentle on this. Nothing against Megamind. I saw it in the theater, enjoyed it. Never thought once about it again until this draft. Never occurred to me that movie existed in the world until this draft game.
All right,
So
let's keep it rolling.
I'm not. I think you don't get extra points for having the number one pick. So Spider-Verse, you get no extra points. I think Megamind is just a bad pick. Not even the last pick. I do like Hercules. I do like Zootopia in the spot that it was picked. Road to El Dorado, I like as the final pick. Kind of a cool one, but again, not to me not a great collection of movies. Doesn't stand out to me. So I'm going to give it a 4 out of 10 because all the rest of you guys are trying to be nice, so that when it's
No, they're not trying to be nice, bro. They like the collection.
But
Shots fired.
9.5, 9.5. You got Megamind on this list, please.
Megamind is a great movie.
It is a movie. What about it would make you want to watch it?
You don't need to shit on everybody else for liking it just because you don't. Damn.
Unless that movie is Shark Tale, in which yes, please.
Hey.
All right. Let's keep it rolling. Let's keep this under an hour. Next up, Ryan. I think you haven't gone yet, right? What's your take on this squad?
All right, bro. I thought I was gonna have the lowest score out of all y'all, but shit, bro, you can't be the life. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse is obviously a number one pick, no matter who is in the first. Not seen Moana, Hercules, pretty baller. That was like one of my first anime movies I really liked from Disney and them when I was growing up. I thought Zootopia, it was good, nothing too special. Megamind just straight dukes, and I've never seen Road to El Dorado, so I'm gonna give my guy a 6.5.
All right. Did anyone not go?
I'm remembering that.
Did anyone not go? Sorry, my list got scrambled. We're all good?
What?
Yeah, I think
we all went.
We all went. All right, cool. All right, let's move on to Isaac. Make sure you follow my guy Isaac on Twitter at Pixar Nerd Studio. He's got The Incredibles, Ratatouille, Incredibles 2, the Lego Batman movie, Toy Story 4, and The Emperor's New Groove. Obviously, you got to start off with this squad with Brad Bird. I mean, Brad Bird is a fucking icon. That guy is.
I want to interview Brad Bird. So
no one can deny Brad Bird is like everything in terms of animation.
Yes.
Your 1-2 punch here is amazing. As a foodie myself, Ratatouille, it went between Ratatouille and my second round choice for where I went. And I love Ratatouille. I'm a foodie guy, so Ratatouille really holds to my heart, just like Coco would for someone that's a musician. But Incredibles 2, Lego Batman movie, I don't like those picks. And then you get Toy Story 4. Toy Story 4, I could probably like replace those with Incredibles 2, and I'd be much happier. I love Toy Story 4. Had tons of heart. And The Emperor's New Groove, I did not like. So I give this.
Okay, I'm
give
gonna
this
have to
squad
leave because you said that. I'm leaving
Fine.
now.
Fine. So I
I'm
give
kidding.
this squad a 7 out of 10, and I'm trying to be very nice because I'm going to dock you points for taking my top 2 movies.
Nothing creates compelling content that people should watch for an hour like everyone being nice.
All right. Next up. All right. First of all, I just realized I spoke out of place. Isaac, tell us about your squad.
Okay, you guys are dissing on me just because I chose Lego Batman movie. Okay,
Yes.
that is a good movie. It's okay. When I said that it's the best theatrically released Batman movie, I misspoke. That's not the case. It's actually
Yeah.
Dark Knight.
Damn right.
Okay, Dark Knight's the best one.
And like 10 movies before Lego Batman.
No.
Like
no. Lego Batman. Like
nah.
Have you seen the quality of animation in that movie? That movie is solid. Okay, it is a good movie.
Okay, Venom lover.
All right.
Okay. You want?
I have a confession.
Let's restrain.
Okay, Leo, what's your confession?
I like the Return of the Cape Crusaders more than I like the Lego Batman movie. I mean,
Okay.
maybe I'm wrong in that, but hell, it's quiet.
Let's see. I have to remember
You're not
which one
wrong
that
in
one
that.
is. Which one is that one?
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
The animated one where essentially Adam West's Batman comes back. It's like I think it came out in like 2015.
Oh, that one,
2016.
yes, that one is.
Yeah,
also, that one's better than Lego Batman movie because anyone. Okay.
All right. Let's keep this rolling, guys. Let's keep it rolling.
Okay.
Yeah,
The only
let's
reason
try to do like 20 seconds.
Yes.
20
tell us about
seconds
your
each,
squad
and then
within 30
right.
seconds.
Okay, and then Toy
Yeah.
Story 4 I got because everyone else took all the other toys. I was going for Toy Story 2, but you guys had to take that one
Which
from
is
me.
the
And then
second worst one, right? It's the
that's not the second worst one. That one's like
Yes, it is.
Gabe, get your opinions together.
Yeah. Let's let Isaac speak, and then
Okay,
let Isaac
and then
go.
Emperor's New Groove is it's just one of the best Disney movies from the last 2 decades. So,
all right.
fight me.
All right.
Okay.
Let's go, AJ. AJ, quick thoughts. I'm talking less than a minute. Go ahead. And grade. AJ, you're muted.
You're muted, man. Again.
6 out of 10. Emperor's New Groove, not a good movie. Lego Batman movie shouldn't be on this list at all. Toy Story 4 is great. Incredibles 2, hilarious and great. Love Jack Jack. Same with The Incredibles and Ratatouille, so I'm giving this a 6 out of 10.
All right. Daryl, you're up.
I'm giving it an 8 overall. The Incredibles and Ratatouille are money. Incredibles 2, Lego Batman, funny. Toy Story 4, not as good as the other 3.
I agree, but
I would, not as good as the other 3, but still a great movie. Emperor's New Groove. I like Eartha Kitt and Patrick Warburton playing Kronk. I could care less about the rest of the movie. So I'm gonna give it an 8.0.
All right, Mike, you're up, dude. And a quick minute take on this team and grade.
You got it. My favorite pick on your team is definitely Ratatouille. Easily one of my favorite Pixar movies next to like Inside Out or WALL-E. I love both Incredibles movies, but I don't know if having both of them is going to do you any favors. Lego Batman movie is fun. That's all I'm going to say. I also love Toy Story 4 and The Emperor's New Groove. It's hysterical. I'm going to rate it 6 out of 10.
All right. Leo.
I'm going overall 6.5 out of 10. Unpopular opinion, I don't like Ratatouille. I do like The Incredibles. I do
Okay.
think Incredibles 2
Okay.
is pretty good. I don't really like
Garbage.
the Lego Batman movie. I thought it was fun for what it is. I'm never going to go revisit it. Toy Story 4, great, but it is the weakest of all the Toy Story movies. And I do like The Emperor's New Groove. Don't love it, though.
Love it.
So
All right.
I'm going 6.5.
Loretto. Oof. Hot.
I'm just gonna speak on what I saw. Incredibles was gonna be my first round pick, to be honest. So he stole that. That's a fantastic film. Ratatouille's fantastic, probably like elite, top 5, top 6, top 7 Pixar. Incredibles 2 and Toy Story 4, I didn't have high on my Pixar board in general. I think Lego Batman wore out its welcome. I thought it was really, really funny, and then the joke kind of got worn out halfway through. I lost interest. I'll give it like a good, between Incredibles and Ratatouille, of the strength of those alone, I'll give it a 7.5.
All right. Who we got next? Amanda.
Obviously, I was gonna pick The Incredibles. Obviously,
Well,
but
you
it's a
should have
solid
known
pick.
better.
Well, chill. I'm gonna give this 7 out of 10. Yeah, Ratatouille's great. I loved it. Incredibles 2, obviously loved it better than the first one, in my opinion. Lego Batman got old after 15 minutes. So, like, it was a lot to process. Toy Story 4 was solid. I like that it was Woody's, like, story, his own story. And Emperor's New Groove, again, solid, a lot of fun. So, yeah, 7 out of 10, man.
All right, JB. You're up, dude.
I think Ratatouille in this spot is amazing. Great spot for just a great world that was built in that movie. I personally would never draft a sequel, and there's 2 on this board, so to me that hurts it. Lego Batman, I can't even imagine giving it 15 minutes of my time and energy. So I will never see that movie. I think I saw a couple of clips, not even a full trailer for that. Hard pass on Lego Batman. Emperor's New Groove, that was a movie that is great to watch with your kids. I liked it. I think Incredibles at number 2 overall is a reach. It's a fine movie. It's a good movie, but you can make that movie. There's 7 or 8 of those movies that exist. Not all of them are animated, but like, I know it's got a huge fan base.
Yep.
But
all right.
Are you trying to piss me off?
Aside from Ratatouille,
Wait until I go.
Well, what grade? What grade, JB?
5.
All right, Chad, you're up, man.
5 is average. What do you want? You want me to tell you that a list of average movies?
Chad, you're up.
50% to F.
Well, this is an
my
F.
God.
Okay.
It's fine. It's fine. It's all good. Shots fired. Chad, you're up.
I mean, I love Ratatouille. That's like one of my favorite Pixar movies. I was really hoping that, I don't know why I thought people were going to pass it up for some reason. But, no, I mean, I love Ratatouille. I love The Incredibles. I love Emperor's New Groove. David Spade is so goddamn hilarious in that movie. His voice is so perfect for that fucking llama. Not a huge fan of Lego Batman movie. And Toy Story 4, I honestly I was not happy when they announced it, but it surprised me. So I would give this a 8 out of 10. That would be my score for that list.
All right, Bat Nibbles.
Oh shit! All right, boy. Let's get this real quick. All right,
1 minute or
Incredibles-
less. 1 minute or less.
I got it. Incredibles. It's fine. It's not that great.
hate you.
Ratatouille, fucking fire. Incredibles 2 is an inferior version of the first one. Lego Batman's also an inferior version of the first one and sucks, dude. I skipped fucking school to see it. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yes.
Can you guys hear me? Oh shit. Okay.
Yes.
Anyway, Toy Story 4, bro. That shit should not happen. We don't need a 4th Toy. It was a decent movie, but it was
Dude, you
Groove is
frozen on my
good.
shit.
It's I bomb. Out of here.
All right. Did we all just lose bat nipples
welcome.
there? 'Cause I
Yeah,
Yeah, he's breaking up super bad.
Thank God.
Just
Thank
keep it-
God.
All right, Gabe. All right,
Amanda said
all right,
it.
my man Gabe. All right, let's wrap this up.
All
Let's
right.
get this rolling. A minute or less.
Yeah,
Can we do
just
this?
real quick.
Can we just ask
Real
if
quick.
anyone has a hot take on
Isaac, I
this?
like you, but this is like the perfect collection of forgettable movies.
Thank you.
Like it's just like it's a whole bunch of movies that you watch and you're like,
Yo,
oh,
what the?
you never think of
Oh
them
my
again
god!
in
I put
your
on the
life.
wrong.
And solid 4. Sorry.
Whoa.
There we go.
Wait,
Damn.
did you guys?
Now we're
did you
talking.
guys
Now
hear
we're
what I
getting
said?
into it. Finally.
Yeah, let's do that too. To
I
make it
hate
go
you
faster,
guys.
Mississippi. 4 out of 10. Pretty mediocre. Thankfully I talked you out of having
Damn.
Monsters University because it would have been a -3. So
All right,
Ooh.
we got 4 out of 10. Let's move on to AJ's squad. Can you guys see that? Oh yeah, we're good.
Yes.
All right, we've got Akira, Ghost in the Shell, Kubo and the Two Strings, Dark Knight Returns, Part 2, Cowboy Bebop, and The Boy and the Beast. And this is what I was expecting because I got a DM from AJ like literally like 6 hours ago about can we show these trailers? And I shit you not, dude, I respect the hell out of you. And I imagine these are great movies, but I've only seen like less than 50% of these movies. And
That was my goal.
These are great. Well, these are great movies. This is
Yes.
art.
Yeah, this
Right.
is a great list, actually.
100%.
This is great.
That's what I meant. So all right. So I saw Kubo and the Two Strings. It was one of the movies I wanted to take on my end. It was very high on my list. The Dark Knight Returns is not my favorite Batman movie. You all know that. If you're just watching this for the first time, Mask of the Phantasm is the best Batman movie. So I agree to disagree. Regardless, it's a great fucking movie, and I'm late to the Cowboy Bebop parade. There could be a big fan vote for that, and I honestly have no idea what The Boy and the Beast is. So I don't feel like I have the appropriate. I'm not like smart enough to say that I have a score for this squad. I'm going to save it for everyone else.
All right, so with my score, I'm gonna give it like a 3 out of 10 for the popular vote. I don't think it's gonna win at all, which was my goal to begin with. My main goal was to just get these movies out there because I know they're not like very popularized and a lot of people haven't watched them at all. Just popular vote is not gonna win. Score as a movie as like quality goes, I'm giving it a 10 out of 10. No questions asked. The Boy and the Beast, I always pictured it as Beauty and the Beast without the romance and just better chemistry with the characters. So if you guys love Beauty and the Beast and y'all love action, I highly recommend that one. And you guys already know about Dark Knight Returns and Kubo and Ghost in the Shell. I think most of you guys have already heard of before. Cowboy Bebop, same, and Akira as well. Akira is my favorite animated movie, Eastern and Western hemisphere wise. What was it? Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse is my favorite movie, Western hemisphere wise. So that's why I chose those movies.
All right, let's go on to Isaac. Isaac, you there, dude? How would
Yeah,
you rate
I'm-
the team out of 10? And quick, under a minute.
Yeah, because I have to hurry this up because I have to go soon. So,
only hot takes. Hot takes, Isaac. Go for it.
Hot takes. I have not seen most of these movies.
I haven't seen a single one.
So you've got some work to do.
So I'm giving
Not a
it
hot
like
take.
Dark Knight Returns just because of that. That gives it 3 points. Kubo, that's another 3 points. But the rest I have not seen, so I'm giving it a 6 out of 10.
All right. Daryl.
AJ low-key loves that you haven't seen any of these movies.
Yeah, I think that's part of it, right?
He loves it.
I mean, you saw Amanda during this last draft. She knows something that we didn't know. Could this be that team? So, Daryl, you're up.
All right, there's like 4 teams that I'm absolutely jealous of. This is definitely one of them. If I was going for my favorites, this is probably one of the lists that would come out. I'm gonna give it overall an 8.5. I love Akira. I love Ghost in the Shell. I love Kubo. Dark Knight Returns. I've only seen in its full form. I've never seen it separated, so that kind of jars me a little bit. Cowboy Bebop. I love The Boy and the Beast. I've never seen, so I'm actually gonna check that out. So yeah, 8.5 for me for this list. Very inspired. I'm super jealous. 1 of 4.
Thank you, Daryl.
Definitely.
Awesome. Thank you, Daryl. Mike, what's your take?
I've never seen any of these. The way everybody speaks about it, I'm sure it's great, and yeah, so I'm not going to rate it, but there you go.
There it is. Leo.
This has got to be one of my favorite lists on here. I definitely don't think it has the popular vote, but I love every single movie on this list, from Akira all the way down to The Boy and the Beast. Fantastic movie. Kind of pissed I didn't have it on my list, so great choice at the bottom there. I wouldn't call The Dark Knight Returns my favorite Batman movie, so I'm giving it a 9 out of 10 for that, but I love every single movie on here besides The Dark Knight Returns, I would say.
Loretto.
Just speaking on what I've seen, which is 2, it's immediately an 8. Akira blew my mind. Thank you, AJ, for pushing me to watch it. Thank you, Leo. Both of y'all pushed me to watch it. I loved Akira. It was incredible. If it would have fell to me, I probably would have taken it. It revolutionized the sci-fi and the action genre in general. You could see a lot of influences from that anime alone. Kubo, I love. It's visually one of the most beautiful films I've ever seen. But Kubo's third act, I didn't like the climax of Kubo. So I dropped it lower than Fantastic Mr. Fox and Nightmare Before Christmas and stuff like that. But Kubo is amazing. So between Akira and Kubo, I'll give him a solid 8, and even not seeing the rest. And I got to watch Ghost in the Shell.
Right there with you, brother. All right, let's go on to Amanda.
I'm gonna actually do what Mike did and not kind of rate it, because I've only seen Kubo and the 2 Strings, so it's unfair to me to give a rating. But like, kudos to AJ for picking such unique films and bringing attention to them. So yeah.
Thank you, Amanda. JB.
Yeah, I think I already said this is art. So this is artwork that people spend years to develop, not to just cash in on. So I really appreciate this list. I love it. I think there's the people who are going to really follow this stuff are going to love this list maybe more than any other. And what I'll relate it to is the your favorite comedian's favorite comedian, right? So if you ever hear somebody talk about Mitch Hedberg, it's because like that guy wasn't super popular, never made millions of dollars, but every comedian thought he was a god. And that's what this list strikes me as. Like, this is your favorite animator's favorite animated movies list. So for that, I think it's super strong. Picking in the third spot, which I think is the next 3 spots are really tricky. I think this is a 10 out of 10.
Wow. All right, here we go. Next up, we got Chad. Chad, can you hear us?
Yeah, I'm gonna follow suit with a couple of people. I can't give this a rating just because I've only seen one of them. Kubo and the 2 Strings is fantastic. I absolutely love Kubo, but the rest of them I haven't seen. I'll give them a shot though. I mean, I know this was AJ's goal to get people to watch stuff that they haven't seen or they normally wouldn't watch. So, you're gonna do the goal you're trying to reach is gonna happen. So, I'm sure it's a good list. I can't give it a rating though.
Love it. All right, Gabe.
Same. I haven't seen any of these movies, so but I would say, as Amanda proved it last time, this isn't a contest of the best movies. It's the contest of the movies the internet likes the most. And I told AJ before, I think his knowledge of of anime and all those things, I think the internet loves those things. So he's gonna get a lot of votes, I'm sure.
Yes, sir. Ryan, can you hear us?
Yeah. I'm gonna join along with everybody. I've only seen one on this list. I've seen The Dark Knight Returns Part 2, which I thought was a pretty good animated movie, but I can't give it a rating because I haven't seen anything else.
All right.
But kudos to you, AJ, for doing this to me.
I just want to say this is such a good list. Like, damn, none of these movies I hate.
Yeah.
I would like to add on. Anime is truly an unsung hero to entertainment as a whole. What NBA was talking about, directors like the Wachowskis and
Yep.
I don't even think that Christopher Nolan knew this or he just did it unconsciously, but he did it off of not Interstellar, but Inception was basically like Paprika. And I just love those like little tidbits of what animation and just anime in general does for the movie entertainment and even music entertainment as well. So I just have to give them props for that.
And before you move on to Daryl, we're coming up. Can I just say, AJ, that I love your choices, and can we please, 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 please do a crossover pod with the Suit Up and the Geek Fix and talk about the Dark Knight Returns Part 2 versus the Mask of the Phantasm.
Please, yes,
Totally.
I'm all for that.
Fun.
I'm all for that, man.
I'm down.
That would be so fun.
That'd be a great
There's
collab.
clearly some animosity there, and I would be honored to have that conversation. So let's move on to Daryl, my man. Make sure you follow him at Mr. _ Darty. Dude, tell us about your squad, dude.
Before I get into that, this Mask of the Phantasm, Dark Knight Returns 2 discussion, I would love to be involved in that. If it's possible.
You're always, of course, man. Of course.
Okay, cool. I would love to be involved.
Yeah, man.
My team, mostly it was pretty much based on like movies that came out and pretty much ruled the world while I was growing up. The Transformers movie, first and foremost, then I would say Beauty and the Beast and The Lion King, huge movies when I was a kid. So I definitely went for the popular flicks and I was definitely trying to go for the win. We'll see how it pans out, but I feel pretty good about my team. I'm surprised that a couple of them fell as far as they did, because I had Lion King, Beauty and the Beast, and Frozen all first rounders. I thought those would be off the board quick feds. Of course, Into the Spider-Verse was my number one, and then Nightmare Before Christmas, if it slipped, would have been my number two. But I'm happy with the team that I have. You know, very interested to see what everyone else's opinions are.
I think you have the unanimous number one pick in this draft. I think The Lion King is going to get the most votes out of everything. I think Beauty and the Beast is probably, if I had to be honest, it's probably going to be the most sad like movie that that everyone disrespects. I think animated wise, that is 100% a movie that was above its time. It was a modern film. Had a Disney princess that just couldn't handle its time. And then I didn't like Frozen, but you can't argue with Frozen. It set the standard of what Disney modern movies is. I don't like the Despicable Me. I think South Park is going to be something that you might be able to like feed into. So if I were you, dude, I would really like, DM them on Twitter and be like, hey, and honestly, Transformers the movie is one of my favorite picks.
Those are my sleepers.
I think Transformers the movie could really elevate this squad. Let's move on to Isaac. You there, dude? What's your quick take on this squad, dude?
I'm saying it's a I don't know. That's a hard one. 7 out of 10. I have not seen the South Park movie, so I cannot.
What?
It's great, dude.
It's
My
great.
God.
You're not old enough to see it, right? Or you have to wait a year.
I just don't like the art style for South Park. So
Yeah, I like these picks except for Despicable Me. I'm just not a fan of Despicable. I don't think it's funny. The animation, I felt like it was really weak compared to other animation. But Lion King definitely revolutionary. It is definitely going to be a tough pick between Lion King and Into the Spider-Verse. Beauty and the Beast. I love Beauty and the Beast. That ballroom dance scene.
Yeah. Preach.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that was the first time they used what was it, CG animation on that one scene.
Yep.
It was beautiful. The first time I watched, I was like, wow. And I was pretty young when I watched that. So, Frozen, wasn't a fan of Frozen, and I was honestly I was a little late on the Frozen. I heard all the songs before I watched the movie, so I guess I was pretty burnt out on it at the time. South Park, I'm with Isaac. I'm not a fan of the animation, but to be honest, nobody really watches South Park for the animation. It's the story. I think the lessons it teach in each episode and even in this movie, I think it's what everybody needs to listen to because it's very, very, very important, even though they do go on the comedic side of it. And it's basically a satire, and I really love that. Transformers, come on now. Who doesn't love
Yo, let's keep this under
Transformers?
a minute, bro.
I got you. And I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10 on this one.
Woo! All right. Yeah, I mean, who doesn't love Lumiere? I mean, is that not one of the best characters in Disney history? Oh man! So we got up, Mike. Right, under a minute or less. We need to like kind of speed.
You got it. You got it. I think Lion King's a great pick. Definitely going to go right down to the end. Going to be a force to be reckoned with. Beauty and the Beast is one of my absolute favorite Disney classics. Frozen, definitely super popular and fun. Not one of my favorites, but it'll definitely get a lot of votes. Despicable Me, funny. Love Steve Carell. Not sure how great that's going to do. South Park, definitely my favorite adult comedy cartoon for sure. And I haven't seen Transformers the movie, so I'm going to give it 8 out of 10.
Amanda.
Yeah, Lion King is God tier. Daryl, you took Beauty and the Beast from me, and I'm so bitter. It's like my favorite. I love it so much. Frozen, I cannot stand after working in a movie theater and with all those freaking kids running around. I couldn't do it. Despicable Me, I also can't stand. So I'm sorry. Those minions just annoy the shit out of me. I cannot. I can't. I'm sorry. South Park, again, didn't really like it. And not my animation style either. Transformers, I haven't seen. So I'm just gonna give you a 6 out of 10, mate. I'm so sorry.
No, that's fun.
All right, so I know one thing to be true, that JR will love this list. Absolutely. This is his draft strategy executed to perfection. Frozen, love it or not, it's great value in the third round. You have what you're doing here with this list is you're hitting a lot of audiences. You're hitting a lot of different pockets of audience. So you're going to collect votes in many different areas. Is this the list like somebody brought up at the very beginning? Is this your desert island list of animated movies? It wouldn't be mine, but you're gonna do really well with the votes. And if that was the goal, and I know that's JR's goal,
that's my goal.
This was a well executed draft strategy. That's what I'm saying.
All right, what grade would you give it, JB?
For me personally, this would be a 6.
All right, Chad.
I would probably rather watch The Lion King 6 times rather than watch all 6 of these movies.
I agree with that, except for Beauty
and the Beast.
Beauty and the Beast. I'm a Slander fan.
Beauty and the Beast is fine. I've watched it multiple times, but
dang, my order is all messed up.
Yeah.
Chad, you're up.
Oh, my bad. I couldn't hear you. I mean, I like his list. He's got a lot of classics on there. I'm not a huge Beauty and the Beast fan. I'm sorry. That's one of my least favorite Disney animated movies. Frozen, I like it more than a lot of you guys like it. I think it's a good movie. Despicable Me, I love more than all of you guys like that movie. I love Despicable Me. I think that is absolutely hysterical. Not a huge South Park fan. I'm more a Family Guy. But Lion King obviously is right up there with with Into the Spider Verse the number one pick. So I'd give this list 7.5 out of 10.
All right, Gabe.
Okay.
Just because he has the Lion King and Beauty of the Beast, it's a 9 out of 10. The rest I couldn't care less. But he has those two movies, which are the best in anybody's list. They were on my list, but somebody got him first. But definitely 9 out of 10.
All right, Bad Nipples.
All right, so Lion King, fire. Beauty and the Beast, fire. Frozen can go fucking die. Despicable Me is mediocre at best. South Park, dude, I have a guilty pleasure for that movie, especially with Satan. We all know. But Transformers is always a classic too, so I'm gonna give it a 7.5.
I'll be quick. I just want to say this is an instant 8.5. I mean, you got my 1, 2, 3 punch right there. Everybody hates Frozen in this room. I absolutely love Frozen. I love the music. I love the characters. I love the story. So I love this list for the top 3. It gets weak at Despicable Me for me. Despicable Me, I did not like. I thought the jokes were pretty stale after 15 minutes. I did like the South Park, bigger, longer, uncut. I didn't love it. Transformers, the movie, is a great conclusion to this list. I didn't even think about that one. I'm a little upset with myself for not. So 8.5 out of 10 on this one.
I don't gotta speak about the first two. That's obvious. But look, I gotta defend South Park real quick because besides the fart jokes, besides the crude animation, all that, number one, its satirical comedy is god tier. It's relevant today about the governments and the way countries operate. It's brilliant. The music itself, there's a lot of fucking farts and jokes and a lot of foul humor, but like the music's really well written. It's really well written. South Park is an underrated musical in itself.
Yes.
Despicable Me, I thought was a reach. That's my only issue with this team. I like Despicable Me. I like the relationship between the daughters and Gru, but I felt like it could have fell further. So I'll give it a solid 9 on the strength of South Park, Lion King, and Beauty and the Beast.
Holy moly. First of all, I just want to say I have not seen Loretto swear that much in our podcast in a long time. So that
South Park will do that to you.
That was amazing. All right. Let's move on to Mike. Make sure you follow him at mkemet23. He's got The Nightmare Before Christmas, Monsters Inc., Mulan, The Little Mermaid, Tarzan, 8 Crazy Nights. Mike, tell us a little bit about your squad.
I'm super happy I got The Nightmare Before Christmas as my first pick. That was, easily one of my favorite animated movies of all time in general. Monsters Inc. I was super happy I got. I think that one's really underrated. Mulan, The Little Mermaid, and Tarzan, I really didn't expect to wind up with this many Disney classics right in a row. I was hoping for a little bit more diversity, but they're all super popular, all super successful, all beloved movies. And 8 Crazy Nights, I was just having a little bit of fun with Adam Sandler movie. It's awesome.
So hot take.
How would you grade it?
Tarzan a Disney classic?
How would I grade it? And wait, what?
Can we call Tarzan a Disney classic?
Yes.
Why can't we?
Really?
Yeah.
Yes. What?
Yes.
It's definitely a Disney classic.
100%.
I've got Nightmare Before Christmas at 10 out of 10. That was my pick. 100%. Monsters Inc. The best duo in Disney history is Mike and Sully. 10 out of 10. Mulan, the movie I waited for of 2020, and I'm so upset that it didn't come out. Little Mermaid is amazing. Tarzan, my wife had her first dance with her dad with one of the songs from Tarzan. And 8 Crazy Nights, I think, is super underrated. I give this a 9 out of 10. I love this movie.
Thank you.
AJ, what's your under 1 minute take on this squad and grade?
Okay, I'll give it a 8 out of 10. Nightmare Before Christmas actually was one of my picks. So I'm actually happy it was taken. Monsters Inc. I love Monsters Inc. Mulan, I love Mulan. Little Mermaid, love Little Mermaid. Tarzan, I think is one of the greatest Disney movies. 8 Crazy Nights, never watched it, so I can't talk about that one.
All right.
Gotcha.
All right, Daryl.
All right, best duo in Disney history is actually Spin Network on pay. But Nightmare Before Christmas would have been my second pick. Monsters Inc. is great. Mulan is great. The Little Mermaid, I understand it for votes, but Ariel's a horrible role model to little girls everywhere.
That's fair.
She gave up everything for some penis. Tarzan, I like. 8 Crazy Nights, I've never seen. So I give this list an 8.5 out of 10.
8.5 out of 10. All right. Let's go on to Leo.
So overall, I'm gonna give the list a 7 out of 10. I have not seen 8 Crazy Nights. Love The Nightmare Before Christmas, Monsters Inc., and Mulan. Great 3 there. Don't really like The Little Mermaid. I know that's an unpopular opinion. However, I do think you will get quite a few votes off that one. Tarzan, another one I think is overrated. So I would say the top 3 great, bottom 3 not as much. So 7 out of 10 for me. I haven't seen the last one either. So
Loretto.
Friend with now that we're 5 teams, I feel like every team has 1 or 2 movies that carry them. I think very much so. Nightmare Before Christmas and Monsters Inc. are elite, super elite. I love Mulan too, but going down, I haven't seen Crazy Nights. Little Mermaid, I think, is visually beautiful, but it's very uneven. Tarzan, again, it looks really cool, and I like what they did with the character, but I wasn't fond of the songs and some of the story choices. I'll give it a solid 7.5.
All right. Amanda, you're up.
Mike actually has one of my favorite lists just because, like, I thought no one cared about 8 Crazy Nights, and I had that on my list. So that was a really nice surprise. I think you have a pretty good variety. All of these films to me are like God tier, and I love them so much. So like, I'm gonna give it an 8.5 out of 10. Mike, it's like my favorite list right now. So yeah.
All right. JB.
All right, so like the list before Daryl's list, this is a perfectly executed draft strategy in my view, and I'm not asking, I'm demanding that all of you watch 8 Crazy Nights, because without being a Christmas movie, it is the greatest Christmas movie. I could argue for an hour that it's the best Christmas movie there is, and it's not even about Christmas. And it is just one of the top holiday movies of all time. It's got jokes for days. I would also argue it is top 3 Adam Sandler movie of all time. And,
oh my
right?
God.
So it is a must-watch Adam Sandler movie, and it is a must-watch holiday movie. 8 Crazy Nights is crazy to get at the end, and I can't believe it wasn't on my list.
I really love your list, Mike, to be honest. Nightmare Before Christmas. To be honest with you, I thought a lot of people were going to forget about it, and I was going to try and snag it in the second or third round, but you got that first round. Great pick there. Monsters Inc. is one of my all-time favorite animated movies. Not huge on Little Mermaid, but I love Tarzan. I think that has the top 3 soundtrack in any animated movie. And then 8 Crazy Nights. I know a lot of you haven't seen it. I come from a Jewish heritage. My father and his whole side of the family are Jewish, so that movie actually speaks to me. 8 Crazy Nights, talking about the 8 Nights of Hanukkah. I think it's definitely one of the funniest Adam Sandler movies. And again, one of the few movies that hits on, the holiday of Hanukkah. So I love it. So I would give this a 9 out of 10.
All right, Gabe.
I think Tarzan sucks. Monsters Inc., Mulan, and Little Mermaid are really good. And the other 2 I haven't seen. So, I would say this is a 7.
All right. What about you, Bat Nipples?
Stop.
Oh God.
So Nightmare Before Christmas, instant fucking classic. I can't believe I didn't even think of this movie. It's fantastic. Monsters Inc. is a hot classic. I'm not gonna lie, not the biggest fan of Mulan, Little Mermaid, and Tarzan. They're not bad, but they kind of sit in the okay section for me. And I've never seen 8 Crazy Nights.
Oh, you?
But I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10, man.
Cool.
All right, 7 out of 10. Let's keep it roll.
By the way, if I face any of you guys in a round, and you haven't rectified the situation where you haven't watched 8 Crazy Nights, I will use it against you on Twitter to get votes. It will be used against you, so you better watch it.
All right. So obviously I'm up next. I've got the Iron Giant. I've got Spirited Away. I've got the Fantastic Mr. Fox, the Fantasia, Chicken Run, and How the Grinch Stole Christmas. I'm a little concerned. My first reaction to this squad is that no one's going to pick for me. Like, I have very adult theme kind of animation films. The Iron Giant, no one like no children love that movie. Spirited Away, that movie, I watched that movie like a week ago. That movie scared the shit out of me if I was a kid. Fantastic Mr. Fox, Wes Anderson is a fucking genius. Like, no one watches that movie as a kid. And Chicken Run. So the only thing I think I have rolling for me is here How the Grinch Stole Christmas. so so I think I have something going for me there. In terms of like pure great movies, I love my squad, but I don't think I have a great team in terms of people are going to pick this team. So let's lead us off with AJ. You're up, dude.
Yeah, I love all of these picks, to be honest. When you first said Chicken Run, my brain went to Chicken Little instead for some reason. But yeah, I love Chicken Run. I love How Grinch Stole Christmas. Everybody loves that. Fantastic Mr. Fox is incredible. Fantasia is incredible. Spirited Away, best Miyazaki film in my opinion. Iron Giant, incredible and underrated. So I'm gonna give this a 10 out of 10.
Wow! Holy shit balls! All right, Daryl, you're up.
All right. With the exception of Fantasia, I am super jealous of this list. If I weren't the new guy, there's a lot of picks on here that I would have made. The Iron Giant, Spirited Away, Fantastic Mr. Fox. I wanted to cry when you picked it. With the exception of Fantasia, everything that's here is on my list, so I'm giving it a 9.
Oh shit balls! All right, let's go to Mike.
The Iron Giant is without a doubt. Well, besides, like I said, Nightmare Before Christmas, but like just that's from my childhood. Like I remember watching that like right away. Like my memory of my life, like that's the first movie I remember. So absolutely love it. I've never seen Spirited Away. Obviously, I have to with how you guys talk about it. I've also never seen Fantastic Mr. Fox, which I'm embarrassed to say. Fantasia, obviously classic. Chicken Run is awesome. I'm so glad you picked this. I wish I got the chance to. And How the Grinch Stole Christmas, obviously a deep pick, but so awesome. So 9 out of 10.
Fuck! Holy shit! All right, let's let's go, Leo.
So I said AJ's list is one of my favorites on here. This has got to be another one of my favorites. I love every single movie on this list. The Iron Giant, phenomenal story. That was one of them that was going to be my number 2. So I was like, damn, I knew he was going to get that. Spirited Away, amazing. One of the top 5 Miyazaki films easily. Fantastic Mr. Fox, my second favorite Wes Anderson movie, right up underneath Grand Budapest Hotel. Fantasia, I don't love. I would say that's the only weak spot on this list here. But Chicken Run, mad I didn't think about that. And How the Grinch Stole Christmas. That was like one I should have easily gone to first, but I'm so pissed off I did not remember that movie. So this I'm giving a 9.5 out of 10.
Holy shit balls! Oh my god! All right, let's go. Low.
All right, brother. My partner in crime, man, co-host. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think your concerns are real. I think your films as a group are 10 out of 10, but popularity,
yes,
maybe like a 6. Maybe like a 6. But I'm gonna say this real quick. You have balls for taking Iron Giant number 1. I didn't have the balls to even think about it. I was targeting the next round. Iron Giant is one of the best animated films, period. I think it deserves its spot. Spirited Away is so weird, but it's beautiful. I love it. Fantastic Mr. Fox has excellent stop motion. It's very detailed and very Wes Anderson. It was on my list. You sniped that from me. Good job. I don't think Fantasia is as strong as others, but I think the concept of Fantasia, especially in 1940, is revolutionary for what they were trying to do. And the animation was beautiful. It's a solid 10 in terms of films, but popularity, it might be a little lower.
All right, Amanda.
Yeah, I didn't really like Fantasia. Didn't like Fantastic Mr. Fox either. But pulling the Grinch out of like nowhere at the end like really made your list, decent. So I'm gonna go with 8 out of 10. Iron Giant was a great pick. Spirited Away was an amazing pick. Chicken Run always a classic. So yeah, I'm gonna do an 8 out of 10 for you.
All right, JB.
Okay, so I feel pretty strongly about this. So I'm going to give my take on it as quickly as possible. I am a firm believer in leaders lead, and non-leaders will tell people what they want to hear, not what they would need to hear. And this list is a list that leads people down a path to a better, deeper appreciation of animated films. So for me, I give you all the kudos in the world. You were unchained by the worrying about what fans think about and really what they should be thinking about. So I applaud you for that. And for that reason, I love the list. Fantastic Mr. Fox. I was really hoping to snag that one pretty late. Went higher than I thought, but now that I've seen you guys draft, I get what resonates with you. Chicken Run was a great film. Like, people should watch that movie. And I think Fantasia is revolutionary. Like, how do you compare Fantasia to anything that came out 50 years later? You can't compare it, because it's like comparing Babe Ruth to I don't know, a modern baseball player. The modern baseball player is standing on the shoulders of the legends. So for me, this is a home run because I think it leads your audience in the right direction.
This is a hard list for me to grade, to be honest. I've seen most of them. I love Iron Giant, love Fantastic Mr. Fox. I'm not a fan of Fantasia at all. I've never seen Spirited Away. I heard it's kind of weird, but it's just never been one that's piqued my interest to watch. Chicken Run, man, I know you guys love it. I hate it, specifically because Mel Gibson is a piece of shit. So I do not like Chicken Run. I won't watch it anymore. I think it's an interesting list, and I think like you said, you got balls for picking this list. Like, you put together a ballsy list. I would probably give it a 7 out of 10.
All right. What about you, Gabe?
I haven't seen any of these movies except for Chicken Run, which I loved, but I was 10 years old, so I don't know if it holds up. So I mean, I can't give it a grade, but I'm sure. I mean, I'm sure. Many of those movies are really highly thought of, so I'm sure it's great.
All right. What about you, Ryan?
All right, so the Iron Giant's fucking classic. Never seen Spirited Away. Fantastic Mr. Fox is okay. Fantasia is good to me. Chicken Run is fucking god tier for my childhood. And so is How the Grinch Stole Christmas. So I'm going to give this round a 7.5 for me.
I would rank it a 10 out of 10. I think there was no point. Yeah, I'm very modest. There was no point where I felt like I was having to pick something that I didn't like. Like, thankfully, if I had to change, maybe I would have liked to have Lion King in there or Beauty and the Beast, one of those. But I mean, I just couldn't get them. But I think all these films really take advantage of the animated media. They take you to different places, different times, right, and completely outlandish concepts in some cases, like Inside Out or Shrek. So I really liked it. I think it's pretty. If somebody made a marathon of these movies, they would probably have a good time throughout. So
I think that's a good barometer, right? Would you sit through a marathon of these movies? So I'm going to go while Chris is away. I agree that it's a strong collection as a group. you're picking in a tough spot, but what you managed to do is really put together a strong group that someone could easily sit in a theater all day and eat popcorn and hang out for 10 hours and just really have a great time. Great Mouse Detective, fantastic. Cut there, Sleeping Beauty to get a classic like that at the end of the draft, I think is pretty awesome. Inside Out might be my favorite pick at the spot that it was. I think it's a great pick. Leo, what do you have?
So I really, really like this list. There are a couple on here that I don't personally like, but I think have a little bit of strength in this battle. So I'm going an 8 out of 10. I don't quite remember The Great Mouse Detective, so I can't really rate that one. Sleeping Beauty, classic. So that was a great snag. I think The Prince of Egypt is underrated. I think that's a great movie. Shrek, I like. Inside Out, I thought Inside Out was okay. I wasn't a huge fan of that one, but Aladdin, that was in my top 3. So huge pick on number 1 there. Going 8 out of 10.
Awesome. Amanda, what about you?
Gabe actually has one of the best lists on here, actually. I love The Great Mouse Detective, so I'm very proud of you for choosing that one. Inside Out is a beautiful film. I cry every time I watch it. Aladdin's absolutely stunning. Shrek is obviously a classic. We love it. Sleeping Beauty is probably the only one that I don't vibe with on this list, so I'll probably give it an 8 out of 10, man. Yeah.
How about you, Daryl?
All right. I'll give it a 9. I think that it has a nice mixture of quality, impact, and popularity. The only pick on here, like Amanda said, that I don't really vibe with is Sleeping Beauty. I prefer Maleficent, the live action, over that.
Yep.
But Great Mouse Detective, Prince of Egypt, very inspired. Shrek, Inside Out, Aladdin, all money. Yeah, I'm gonna give it I think I said an 8.5. I'm gonna give it a 9.
Real quick, I think Prince of Egypt and Sleeping Beauty are visually very, very, very captivating. Shrek's satire, and it was revolutionary for its time in its computer animation and epic casts between Eddie Murphy and Mike Myers. Aladdin was my number 1 Disney animated film, period. And I thought Inside Out was a little bit of a reach, but I do like it. So I think overall, I'll give it a solid 9.
Yeah, man.
Mike, how about you?
So if I had to grade it just off the first 3, I'd give it a 10 out of 10. Aladdin's easily one of my favorite Disney classics. Inside Out, I think, is so smart for a Pixar movie. And Shrek, I mean, we were talking about on-screen buddies before. I think Shrek and Donkey take the cake, to be honest. I don't remember The Prince of Egypt or The Great Mouse Detective, and Sleeping Beauty is an obvious Disney classic. So like I said, first 3, I'd definitely get 10 out of 10 because I can't remember the others. I'll go 8, 7.5.
Great. Ryan, how about you?
Aladdin, obviously classic. Inside Out, I'm mixed on it. I like it sometimes and then I don't. Shrek, obviously a classic. I don't really remember The Prince of Egypt and Great Mouse too much. Sleeping Beauty, I'm also indifferent on, but I'm going to give this list a 7.
Awesome. Chad, bring us home.
I'm muted. Sorry, I was muted. I really like his list. Aladdin, my second favorite Disney animated classic. Inside Out is phenomenal. That's one of my favorite Pixar movies. I think it has so much heart and a good message. Shrek, one of my all-time favorite animated movies. I don't remember Prince of Egypt that well, just like a lot of people don't. I really don't like Sleeping Beauty, but where his list gets me is The Great Mouse Detective. That movie, I feel like Gabe and I don't agree on a lot, but dude, that is one of my all-time favorite Disney classics, and nobody talks about it, I feel like. So I'm gonna give this a 8.5 out of 10.
We also agree on Dark Phoenix.
That's true. That's true.
Sucks.
All right, let's move back to Leo.
Okay, so I've got Coco at number 1, Toy Story 2 at number 2, A Goofy Movie at number 3, The Princess and the Frog at number 4, Jungle Book at number 5, and Book of Life number 6. So I essentially picked my list based on the music from each movie that essentially didn't get taken because a lot of my picks got taken, especially by Loretto and Chris. So was feeling a little upset sandwiched between the two of them in the order. But I was a little bit upset picking Book of Life because I was like, I already have Coco, so now I have two films that are super similar. I'm gonna give my list an 8 out of 10 based on that. I kind of wish I would have went with something else just to have a little bit more of a diverse list. But I like my list. I like my choices.
I like Leo's list. I think it's a pretty strong list. I feel like I'm not going to go too deep into it. I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10, like Leo did. I'm going to save us some time.
Let's see, Amanda.
I'm gonna give it a 7.5 out of 10, just because I didn't like was the Book of Life. You said the last one?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's okay. So I'm gonna give some.
Yo, Chris is...
that brought me a whole 2.5 points.
How about Daryl? How about you?
I'm gonna give it an 8.5. Coco, Toy Story 2, A Goofy Movie, Princess and the Frog, and Jungle Book, all solid picks. I've never seen the Book of Life though, so I'm definitely gonna check that out. It's one of those lists that I'm jealous of. I really wish that I could have picked this list. But yeah, I'm gonna give it a what I say 8.5. I'm gonna give it a 8.5.
Right on.
Chad, what you?
I'm gonna give this list I'm gonna say a 9. I'm gonna give it a 9 because I love Coco. So I actually just watched Coco like 2 days ago, and bro, I was literally crying at the end, like happy tears. I was like, oh my god, like I was literally just crying, bro. It was so good. And then A Goofy Movie, bro, is like one of my favorites. So you picked that, man. Okay, so well done there. Power line all day. 9 out of 10.
Cool. Low.
Real quick, if you didn't pick Coco, Leo, that was number 1 on my board. So good job, you sniped me. I love Goofy Movie. I just thought it was a little bit of a reach in the third. But it's a great film. Toy Story 2 is fantastic. I haven't seen Book of Life, so I can't really judge you for that one. I think based off of the strength of your list, though, I would give you a solid 9, though.
And just to wrap it up, I will say that votes and elections sometimes come down to single issue voters who ignore everything else. And if you love Coco, nothing else is going to matter. No other list is going to matter. Coco's getting your vote. It's one of those movies that's going to resonate so hard, everything else stops in its tracks, and you're going to get a significant portion of voters from that. I think you have a strong list outside of that. There are no like record scratching, but what movies on there? So I think you've got a really good list here. Coco is a home run.
All right. Where are we at?
Who we got next?
Except for Book of Life.
I'm trying to catch up here. We've got Amanda.
No.
I think Amanda.
Hey,
Loretto. I think Loretto.
Put the list back up. Can you put that spreadsheet back up?
Yeah, it's low.
Low's up? Sorry, I just missed the last like 15 minutes.
We're all dead on the inside.
Where's the spreadsheet?
Holy shit. This is coming apart at the seams, my brother. All right, so you want me to talk about my team real quick?
We're gonna land this plane.
All right, guys. Like I said, I really wasn't shooting for the popular vote. I'm gonna be honest. I went with my heart, but at the same time, I didn't want to leave the first round without an elite Pixar film. So if it wasn't Finding Nemo, it was gonna be Coco. If it wasn't Coco, it was gonna be Incredibles. That was my goal. And then after that, I kind of just picked with my heart. Princess Mononoke, like I was saying when I picked it, I think it revolutionized the animation genre and it inspired a lot of other films. I love the themes. I feel like Land Before Time, maybe some people haven't seen it, some people don't remember it, but it was so important to my childhood. I grew up with Land Before Time, and I think the message holds today. And hot take, I just feel like they handled the circle of life concept a little bit more like understandable for children in the sense. Wreck-It Ralph, I thought was revolutionary. Isle of Dogs, I talked about it. I thought it should have won over Spider-Verse. And I kind of panicked with Totoro, but I think doubling up on Miyazaki, I think might be in my benefit. At least I hope. I know he has his fans and his followers, so yeah, I like my list, man. I'll give it a good 8.5.
I think Land Before Time is one that just so many kids were raised on it. So many parents used it as a teaching device and a parenting device. That it's a standout for me, so I love that pick.
All right, Mike.
Land Before Time is definitely one, I was raised on for sure, so I love that pick. And Finding Nemo, also obviously one of the best Pixar films. Definitely an 8 out of 10 for this list.
Daryl.
First, I'm having a great time. I'm gonna give this list a 9. Finding Nemo's Money, Princess Mononoke, really good pick. Isle of Dogs, I'm jealous of. Totoro, really great pick. I don't think a lot of people have seen that. If you haven't, I suggest you definitely go see that. Yeah, Wreck-It Ralph. I love Wreck-It Ralph. He calls her a gutter snipe. That's hilarious. I'm gonna go with a 9.5 on this list. I really like this list.
Woo!
Thank you, Daryl.
Amanda.
Yeah, I love Finding Nemo. Land Before Time was such a great pick. You have a great variety though, so I'll give you that. I'm gonna give you a 9 out of 10, my friend. Yeah.
All right, Ryan.
Nah, bro, I ain't gonna lie. That's a pretty fire ass list. But to save us some all time, the Dawn Before Time or the dinosaur one, whatever the fuck it's called at this point in my life, bro, fire. 8.5 out of 10.
Dawn? What?
Dawn Before Time.
So much time.
All right, come on.
Yeah.
Holy
Jesus.
Oh my
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Oh,
All right, I'm gonna be real quick. Lo, I think you have a chance of getting in the final round because you do have the top 3 Studio Ghibli movies. Like you have all of them. So you have that going for you. You have Finding Nemo going for you. To be honest, like your list is gonna make it. I think it could come down to you and Gabe. So I'm going 9.5 out of 10 on this one.
All right.
Good one.
Appreciate you, bro.
It's good.
All right. So where do we're on Amanda?
Well, I didn't get to go.
My
That's fine.
list. I know I'm gonna get roasted. That's fine.
I
So
didn't
yeah,
get to
pick-
go for low. I didn't get to go for low, but that's all right.
Me
All right,
too.
Chad, go ahead.
I'm going.
No,
Okay.
that's cool. Go,
Oh,
let's go.
Chad, go ahead.
I
Yeah,
can't-
no, go ahead.
I
Go ahead.
honestly, I can't remember some of his movies. I know he had Finding Nemo and Land Before Time and Finding Nemo alone will get you to an 8 out of 10 for me. But I don't know what the other 2 of the movies are. Like Princess Tapioca. What was that?
Tapioca.
Oh, what the hell? All right, come on now. You can't be disrespecting Mononoke like that, bro.
I'm not disrespecting it. I really don't know the name, but nah.
Hey, Chad, honestly, dude, I think you'll appreciate it, man. It's got some sick action and it's got some like CG mixed in with the anime. It's really cool.
What is the name of it again, though?
Princess Mononoke.
Okay, you'll have to send that to me in a DM. But
yeah, we don't know how to spell that.
Land Before Time and Finding Nemo, bro. I was hoping I was gonna get Finding Nemo, but you took it. Great movies. Land Before Time is like my childhood, dude. Spike and Ducky. Yes. So I give it an 8 out of 10.
All right.
Yep.
Yeah.
I can go. Yes. Am I allowed to go?
All right, your turn.
It's all you, man.
Amanda, it's all you. How do you feel about your team?
I love my team because I picked all my favorites. So I just wanted to have fun with this one. I honestly didn't really care about winning. It was just fun being here with everyone. So yeah, I picked Shrek 2 because it's the most rewatchable and it has a massive following on Twitter. Everyone praises Shrek 2, so that's kind of where my strategy is. Again, Tangled, super underrated. Huge following on Twitter because everyone praises Frozen over Tangled all the time. So I think it's like a hidden gem that way. The Aristocats is my personal favorite, so I had to put it on the list. Daryl took Beauty and the Beast from me, and that's why I kind of had to go with A Bug's Life. It was on my list, but as a backup. but I'm happy I went with it. Teen Titans Go to the Movies was just a fun pick. I really enjoyed it. And Shark Tale, everyone hates on it. The animation isn't the best, like I'm being honest, like it's pretty crappy. But the whole cast is amazing. I love Will Smith. I really loved that they animated them kind of like the actors, if that makes any sense. Like if you see them, especially like Martin Scorsese's like eyebrows, they kind of got that on the fish. I thought was really did that. And like Shark Tale, the mob fantasy, I thought that was really if you guys know me, so I love mob movies, so I kind of had to go with Shark Tale. So my list, I give it a solid 10. So yeah.
You giving your team a 10?
7.5 out of 10.
That's
Being honest with myself.
All right, let's go on to JB. How would you grade Amanda's Squad?
I think I have a different take on Shark Tale, I guess. I feel like it was a turning point in the industry away from art and towards getting as many big name voices as possible and making as much money as possible. So I don't love that pick. And the list is fine. I don't love it. It wouldn't surprise me if it won, but I personally don't love it.
Fair. Yeah.
What about you, Mike?
I thought Shrek 2 was, obviously a steal. That's a great first round pick. I'm also a huge fan of Tangled. I think it's way better than Frozen. I totally agree with you. Bug's Life, obviously the Pixar classic, right? And I don't hate Shark Tales. So, yeah, no, I'd give it 7.5 out of 10. Definitely. Sure.
Daryl.
Shrek 2, great film. Aristocats, I love Aristocats. I think that's the last movie Walt Disney gave the okay on. A Bug's Life, I love. Shark Tale, I could care less about. Honestly, Tangled, I could care less about. I'm pick Frozen over Tangled, like you picked Tangled over Frozen.
Yes,
Teen
sir.
Titans Go to the Movies, sleeper pick, so good. I believe it came out in 2017, so
Yeah.
we were flooded with superhero movies, but it holds its own against all of them. So I mean, it's a solid list. I'm gonna give it an 8. I'm gonna give it an 8.
Thanks, man. Thank you.
Leo.
Oh God.
You said you were gonna pick Shrek, and you took Shrek 2, so I'm a little bit upset about that. However, Shrek 2 is amazing, one of the best sequels of all time, I would argue. I will say I don't really like the Aristocats that much. Let's see what else was on there. Shark Tale, I thought was a pretty good movie. Actually, I like the use of funk music in that movie, and I like the animation on the fish. I thought it was awesome. Remind me the other few picks.
A Bug's Life, Tangled, and Teen Titans Go to the Movies.
I think Frozen is better than Tangled. And then Teen Titans Go to the Movies, I would say, is a highlight of Teen Titans Go. I really don't like Teen Titans Go that much, but I thought that movie, if the show was like that movie every single episode, I'd be down. So 7 out of 10, strong 7.
Fair.
All right, Loretto.
Man, okay, so Shrek 2 is awesome. I don't think is as good as the first. That's a hot take, I think. I will say I don't hate Shark Tale, but I just don't remember it. I'm being honest. I think the one thing I can say is I like that they modeled the fish to look like Angelina Jolie and Martin Scorsese, like you're saying. That was cool. Jack Black was funny. I just don't remember it that well. Teen Titans Go was funny, but it wasn't on my board. I feel like we had better films overall. Tangled, I agree, I liked it better than Frozen. I love Tangled. I think that's a really strong choice. I'll give you a solid 7.
Thank you.
All right. Chad, did you give your take on the Squad?
No, I haven't. Okay, so we'll get these two out of the way. Shrek 2 and A Bug's Life, 2 of my favorite movies. Shrek 2 is the best out of the Shrek series by far. And I agree with what Leo said. I think it's one of the best sequels of all time. A Bug's Life is just, instant classic. I like it better than Ants, but those two are close, and they're both great movies. The rest of the list, I'm not a huge fan of. Tangled, I watched it for the first time like a month or two ago. I enjoyed it. I mean, it was a decent movie. I just thought it was kind of like an average animated movie though. But Shrek 2 and A Bug's Life honestly get you to a 7 no matter what for me. So I'm gonna give it a 7.
Thanks, man. Thank you.
All right, Bad Nipples. Do you vote?
All right, I'm gonna hit you. Shrek 2, not as good as the first one. Sorry, man. To get out of here. Aristocrats, it's okay. Don't got enough cats, if you know what I mean. I'm trying to remember what's the rest of your list. Sorry. What's the other three? What's the other like 5?
Tangled, I have A Bug's Life. Shark
Okay, Bug's Life is pretty fire. Shark Tale, bro. I wish I got smacked by a shark tail after watching that shit. And then, what were the other two? Shit.
Teen Titans.
Teen Titans goes to movies.
Bro, Teen Titans should have gone home. That's what they should have called it. And what was the other one?
Ryan.
What was the other one? What's the last
Wow.
one?
You're gonna give me like 4 to 10. Like I already know.
Bro, what's the last one?
Go ahead. Go
What is
ahead.
it?
That's it. I got 5.
What
Oh,
the
yeah,
fuck
I'll
did
be
he say
nice.
about
Or 6, whatever it was.
Bro, a 5 out of 10. Boom.
See, I told you.
What did you say about
You said 4.
cats?
Nothing. Don't matter. All right. I got Toy Story 3, Up, Big Hero 6, How to Train Your Dragon, Lady and the Tramp, and then Sausage Party. Yo, just roast me. I'm ready for it. Oh, I give my list a 10 out of 10.
I love the
Jason, roast me.
Yeah, I'm about to. I think Up was great, a great pick. I would have picked it, but it didn't fit within my grouping. I think Sausage Party is like it's criminal behavior when you look at some of the other things that didn't get picked at all. It's criminal. So you should be put in animated movie critic jail over that one.
Damn.
So that's bad. That was a bad one. And
Thank
what
you.
were the others?
Toy Story 3, Big Hero 6, Lady and the Tramp, and How to Train Your Dragon.
Yeah, so I think you really hit some strong ones there. I think Big Hero 6 is modern. I think it was underrated. Maybe I don't follow close enough. How to Train Your Dragon is just a flat out good movie, I think. And what was the other one? Big Hero 6. What was the
Toy
last
Story
one?
3 and Lady and the Tramp.
Yeah, so Lady and the Tramp I think is problematic on a couple of levels. And I purposely took every sequel off of my board, so I'm not giving points out for sequels. That's it.
Thank you for the roast, good sir.
Amanda, get him back.
Oh, man. I'm good.
Toy Story 3 is actually my favorite Toy Story movie.
Okay.
Take so I cried with that one, so that was good. Up, obviously tearjerker, loved it. Big Hero 6, underrated, good choice. How to Train Your Dragon, also good. Lady and the Tramp, I hate it. It's so boring, that movie. I couldn't do it. And Sausage Party, Seth Rogen can do no wrong in my eyes. I love that movie so much. It's like
Seth Rogen gang.
I have it on DVD, and like I love the whole gang. They're so great. So actually, I'm gonna give Ryan. This is a solid list. Shit. Now that I look at it, damn. Now I gotta reach your house. Okay. I'm gonna do 8.5 out of 10. No, legit.
All right, so
solid. These are great. Yeah.
hey Ryan, I'm not trying to judge or anything, but I did not think you were gonna draft such a good list. I gotta say, your list is surprisingly really strong.
I was waiting for a roast of my life.
No, but look, listen to me. Hear me out.
Don't
Hear me
worry,
out.
I got you.
So How to Train Your Dragon was my #1 DreamWorks film. I love that movie. I hate that it didn't come back to me. Toy Story 3, I think, is the best of the series.
Hell yeah.
It was beautiful. Up is amazing. And I gotta say this. Look, I'm with Amanda. Like, I love Seth Rogen and stuff, but I couldn't finish Sausage Party the first time I saw it. I was distracted and I just wasn't vibing with it. So I gotta give it a rewatch. But because of Sausage Party, you went from a 10 to a 9.
Oof.
I don't
Damn,
care.
still gave you a 9.
It's still a 9. Oh my god.
Hey, good job, Ryan, for real.
Thank
You
you.
pulled it out of the thin air here. Jesus Christ.
All right, Ryan. I actually like Ryan's list. Toy Story 3. I'm with you, Amanda. That's my favorite Toy Story. I think it's the best Toy Story movie.
Oh my god, bro.
How to Train Your Dragon is fantastic.
I'm gonna cry.
I hate Lady and the Tramp, but bro, okay. I love Seth Rogen as much as the next fucking person.
Yo.
But bro, when those foods start fucking each other, I got so
It's classic.
nauseous,
Not a
nauseous.
Bro,
Bro, they put a fucking hot dog through 3 donuts. All right, so I mean,
it was so funny.
Ballsy. It's a ballsy pick. You might hit that like weird Twitter fetish area. They might.
Yeah. Smokey, that's what I was going for.
Oh,
I'll give you.
Ryan with the surprise list. Leo.
I'll give you a 7.5, bro.
All right. Really listening. All right. So Up, based on Up, How to Train Your Dragon, and there was one more strong one in there, Toy Story 3, which actually, I'll be honest, that's my second favorite Toy Story movie next to the first one. But 3 very strong movies make this an instant 7.5. Sausage Party, my man. We went there. Sausage Party, can't do it. And then what was the other one?
Lady
and the Tramp.
Lady and the Tramp. I'm going with Jay Blevin. There's some big problems in that movie, and I'm not a fan. Yeah, so 7.5.
I'll take it, bro. Shit. Okay. Who wants to go next?
I think Mike is up.
All right. It's a good list, man. I can't lie. Toy Story 3, obviously, revered as like the best of the series. My favorite's Toy Story 2. Big Hero 6 is amazing. I really wanted this one in my lineup, so I was super jealous about that. How to Train Your Dragon, very good. Up, awesome. Obvious Pixar tearjerker, great. Lady and the Tramp, like a couple people said, kind of boring, problematic, but it's a Disney classic, so it'll definitely, get some attention. And Sausage Party is funny as fuck, but it does not belong in our draft.
Yes, it does.
I'll give you a 7.5.
Fuck.
I'll let you go.
Daryl.
I'm gonna give Ryan an 8. Solid list.
Fucking love you.
I've got South Park on my list, so Sausage Party belongs up there.
Yeah.
Lady and the Tramp, problematic. I'm not a fan. So you lose points on that from me. How to Train Your Dragon and Big Hero 6, incredibly underrated, especially Big Hero 6.
Yep, agree.
It's based on a Marvel comics, but Marvel doesn't have their logo on it, so I think that's why a lot of people overlook it. But if you actually sit down and watch the movie, it's incredible. Up, I mean, you go through the roller coaster of emotions within the first 10 minutes. Like, Pixar's famous for it. And Toy Story 3, I'm in agreement with a lot of other people. Best one in the series. Unlike Jason, I do like sequels. I don't love them, but if the sequels are given the proper attention, then I can get behind it. And Toy Story 3 coming out 10 years after Toy Story 2 was given the proper attention. So yeah, I solid 8.0.
Oh, this is crazy. Bro, I'm actually about to
Good list,
cry.
Ryan.
Bro, fuck. Okay,
All right.
You're getting emotional over.
All right, what we got?
Party.
Do we do it
Our
all?
last team of the draft.
Who's
Okay.
that?
All right, so let me get into why I took sequels off the board. It's really more of a draft strategy than a qualitative statement about movies. I'm a big believer. Listen, I'm huge into music. As much as you guys are into this stuff, like I'm into music, and to me, there's a truism in music that a band's second album is their best album. Usually, they're not considered sequels, but it's where a record company recognizes the talent, invests in production resources, puts a team around them to guide them, and you become and you put out really great work. I don't think that movies really very often follow that model. And I get the love of Toy Story 3 for the sort of ending the arc. But in very few cases will I think a sequel fundamentally changes the game. So I'm going to go through my list really quick. And I in no way did I think Toy Story would fall, but my number one pick, the way I tried to craft this was I wanted a weird movie, a message movie, something with real heart and personal connection to people, something like a Coco. I wanted something foreign, and I wanted, honestly, the last few picks, they kind of hit a couple of things for me. First of all, the ability to throw in Scooby-Doo Zombie Island that essentially attracts. It's the peak of the franchise, which was a TV franchise and these sort of VHS movies. But it's the best movie of one of the classic, like, goofy, lighthearted mystery genres. So to me, it represents that entire sort of genre and that entire franchise. I know people that have seen the live action films won't feel that way, but that's a thing. That's a show that a lot of kids have just grown up on. So Coraline, I talked about just being my favorite author. I'm gonna give that. I'm gonna put that in there. Coraline also is like creepy and scary and spooky, and also has some things about 51% of our population, giving that perspective to 51% of our population, which is underrepresented, and I think we've seen a lot of that in some of these other movies. So this is my list. I mean, Wall-E for me, I was just praying that it would fall. Didn't expect Toy Story. Toy Story I put in there instead of Up, quite frankly, because of the music. So you look at just the body of work in that first movie with the soundtrack and the songs that were in it. To me, made me choose it over Up, and that's basically the list. I feel like I tried to hit a lot of and American Tail, by the way, it's Tail. It's a play on words, but it's the quintessential immigrant story and how to love this country even when it's really hard. We make it really hard for people to make it in this country, and yet we had this like amazing segment of our population that still fights for that dream. So to me, American Tail, having that as the last pick, hits a lot of it hits the music side of it, hits the message side of it, it hits that sort of dreamer, young, anything is possible young person thing that we all were when we were 7, 8, 9 years old. So to me, that like, for being number 6, that was like a dream come true. So I tried to put it together a list that had diversity from a tone standpoint, but killing it with music and with some comedy.
All right,
hey, JB, can you just list your 6 real quick?
Yeah. Okay. So pick 1, Wall-E. Pick 2, Toy Story, the original. Pick 3, The Triplets of Belleville, which almost won an Oscar. Came in second in 2003. Coraline from Neil Gaiman, Scooby-Doo Zombie Island, and American Tail. That's my 6.
Wall-E being a number 1 pick, I was surprised it was last of the first round. That's one of my favorite Pixar movies, like I said before. Toy Story, obviously super strong. Scooby-Doo Zombie Island, when you said that, it brought me right back to my childhood. I love that movie. Can't believe I didn't think about it. Coraline, another awesome one, like that, Burton-esque, creepy, just totally different, unique. I love that. And I've never seen American Tales or Triplets of Belleville. But if I had to rate it based off the other ones, definitely a 9 out of 10.
All right. What about you, Daryl?
Okay, for me
Chad.
personally, Wally's a great pick. Very little dialogue, great film. Very important cultural from start to finish. Scooby-Doo Zombie Island. I haven't seen. An American Tale. I love it. I love Five Who Goes West as well. There I go again with sequels. Triplets of Belleville. Love it. Incredible film. My favorite pick, though, probably out of this entire draft is Coraline, because I don't think enough people have seen that movie to actually very much truly appreciate it. Neil Gaiman, again, unbelievable author. I give this list overall 9.5. It's the last of the list that I'm jealous of. It's a lot of picks on here that I'm a big fan of, and yeah, I give it a 9.5. Solid list.
All
Solid
right.
list.
What about you, Amanda?
This is a really solid list. I love that you chose Coraline, and like you said, it's a very diverse list. I really do love it. So, like, I didn't expect to love it as much as I did, but really looking at it, you have some great picks. I absolutely love Wall-E. It's definitely up there for me as one of my favorite Pixar films. It was on my list, so when you said it, I was like, oh man, like I should have taken it. But yeah, this is awesome, and like Scooby Doo as well, like coming in. So I'd give it like I'm gonna do 8.5 out of 10, man. Like it was really good, really strong. Yeah.
I'm so sorry. I don't mean to interject. Wally and Eve is such a great love story.
Yeah.
Yes.
So good.
I love
Yes,
them. Yeah,
man.
I do.
I mean, that's how I named my daughter.
So cute.
My daughter's name is from this. All right, let's go. Who are we missing here?
I'll go ahead and go real quick.
All right,
There
Leo.
are two films that I
Leo.
think are absolutely strong on this list. There are two that I'm jealous I did not think of, and then there's one on this list I haven't seen. I haven't seen the Triplets of Belleville. Definitely gonna check it out based on how you guys are talking about it. I'm so upset I didn't think about Scooby-Doo Zombie Island. That brought me right back to around the time period where the kind of What's New Scooby-Doo stuff was popping up, but there was some good Scooby-Doo left. So I loved Zombie Island. And Wall-E and Toy Story, my two favorite Pixar films, absolutely. So 9 out of 10 from me.
Loretto.
Wally and Toy Story revolutionized the game, man. I mean, I'm wearing Wally on my shirt. He's my favorite character. The fact that I can emotionally attach myself to this silly, goofy little robot that doesn't even talk for half an hour, almost the entire movie, actually, incredible. Great storytelling. I love Coraline. I was heartbroken when he took it. I was eyeing Coraline around that area. So you had really valuable picks. American Tail is a classic. I'm a big Don Bluth fan. Triplets of Belleville, like you said, almost won an Oscar, and I've been meaning to see it. That was on my watch list. I just couldn't finish it in preparation for the draft. So I'll give you a solid 9, man. It's a really, really strong list.
All right. And Chad, do you give your thoughts on GB Squad?
No. Okay, so I am hot take. I do not like Wally. I know nobody's gonna be there. I don't know. I just never really liked it. I'm sorry, guys.
Get back to us in 20 years when you see what it's really about.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I understand the movie. I just
You've
don't,
been
I don't know.
disowned, Chad.
I don't know. I just didn't like it. I'm sorry. I said I'm sorry. Damn. Toy Story, obviously amazing. Toy Story is just fantastic. Revolutionary. American Tail was a fantastic pick. I'm so happy someone took it. I used to watch that all the time as a kid, so that was a great pick. Overall, I'd give the list an 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10.
All right. Wrap us up here, Bat Nipples. How would you grade JB's Squad?
I gotta say, man, first Toy Story, pretty banger. That's a banger. Definitely just huge within the animation game, being the first computer made, I guess you can say, film, as Daryl said. Wall-E, hot classic, because how the fuck can we emotionally attach ourselves to a non-talking robot that isn't even a physical property that we're watching? That's all I'm saying. Scooby-Doo, Zombie Island, dude, I completely forgot about that movie. That's my favorite Scooby-Doo movie / story ever. And Jason, what were your last two picks?
So Coraline and American Tail.
Yeah, so Coraline, I don't know why I never really vibed with that movie. I definitely know I'm in the minority with that one. I don't know if it was a story or the animation style, but I could never vibe with it. And then the American Tail is just a great story of immigration, and it really just shows all the spectrums of it, and it tells the story that it wants to tell. So I'd give your list an 8.5, man.
All right. Awesome. So make sure you check out Suit Up TPL. We're going to throw all of these squads in a single elimination bracket starting tomorrow. Oh, my God, man. I can't wait. First of all, I cannot wait for my man Ryan to go against Amanda. That's going to be so fun.
No.
Is that a
Bro,
first
I
round?
told you guys.
First round. And by the way,
That's a first round matchup.
Shit, no.
to be fair, it's me versus Jason. You know, my man Jason. So we're going mano y mano. Thank you so much for watching.
I am Iron Man.
I find your lack of faith disturbing.
I want you to remember the one man who beat you.
The Force will be with you. Always.
A king's time as ruler rises and falls like the sun.
I do this all day. What's but a smile on that face?
That's my secret, Cat. I'm always angry.
Some men just want to watch the